www.manganese.org. Today we're going to be discussing manganese. It's a specific mineral that's extremely healthy to have enough of in your body and can make a big difference if you don't. First thing that we do is go over the best forms for you to be purchasing it in if you don't get enough in your diet, which by the way is frequent. The best form I know of is a form called glycinate. You'll see it right there on your screen. And the good forms to get it in is gluconate, sulfate, and citrate. Sulfate is the least likely I like to see you get it in because of its tendency to upset the tummy. So thus glycinate and gluconate are the easiest on the GI tract and something to consider. What we know is the refining of our flour and grains that are in many of our cereals and everything eliminates up to 75% of all the manganese that's in it. So if this was an element that was necessary for good health in the human body, guess what? You probably have minimal of it coming through most of the foods that most of us eat. Crackers, things like breads, many of those things that are enriched, they just don't have much of it in there anymore, and that can create major issues. The mineral's dirty secret. And I mention it because when you purchase manganese, let's say, you must find out the total amount of manganese in that element. In other words, you might buy 100 milligrams of manganese gluconate. Well, the problem with it is, if in fact it doesn't list that it's 100 milligrams of manganese, okay, you don't know if you're getting 1 milligram, 10 milligrams, 80 milligrams of manganese because right at this point, they don't have to tell you how much real manganese is in there, just that manganese gluconate is totaling 100 milligram. So thus, if you needed 100 milligram and there's only 10 in there and you didn't know you had to take 10 of those just to get the right dosage, guess what? Underdosing, making you think that maybe certain minerals and vitamins aren't helping you, and that is one of those dirty secrets that is out there. Physicians Premium will make absolutely sure that if you see it listed on the bottle means whatever's listed there is the total amount that actually is in that bottle. So if it says manganese gluconate, guess what? And it's 100 milligram, it means it's got 100 milligrams of manganese. Gluconate might be 50 milligrams more, but will not be listed or confusing you, so you end up under supplementing your needs. Period. Okay, so we want to make sure you know that. It's just common. And in realizing that a mineral is important. It's really important because it's an organic substance that's vital for your life. Majority of minerals cannot be synthesized by the body, so thus the diet or supplementation absolutely must be added to get that mineral, in this case manganese, in the right dosage. Okay? Minerals really are not such a big issue as to their form, except for the forms that are the best forms I can give them to you in, because they'll be more absorbed, and that you're getting something that actually gives you the right dosage in the markings on the bottle. Those are two of the most important things when it comes to minerals. Okay, when we look at the synergistic aspects of manganese, meaning there's certain elements that help it absorb and be utilized in the body in a better manner than others. And in this case, manganese is helped by calcium, iron, vitamin B complex, the whole thing, not just B6 or B1, and vitamin E. So calcium, iron, B complex, and vitamin E. So taking it in a multiple form with maybe a little bit more additional if you've had certain types of disease processes or injuries, which we'll discuss later, is the form we want to be able to make sure we take it in. Okay? I always show broccoli here for one reason. You see the picture of broccoli, now you see all the elements that are listed in broccoli. If you are a junk food junkie and you do not eat a healthy diet with raw fruits, vegetables, lean meats, and whole grains, let me tell you, it doesn't matter how much we supplement you. Okay? You're not going to get the best results possible if you don't start eating things like apples. Look at the listing on the apples of all kinds of things that are in there that we can't give you in a supplement form. So thus, eating junk food and taking supplements, how much further do you get ahead? Maybe a little bit. Muy poquito. Very little. Not much. Got to do something more, and you got it. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. It's funny. I get these people, they go, well, I don't eat fruits, and I don't eat vegetables. I don't like them. My mom and dad never made me eat them. I don't really care. You know why I don't care? It's because your wherewithal, your health, your kids' health, your spouse's health might be dependent upon you changing that bad attitude you've got. Because let me tell you something, do you like paying bills? Do you like going to work? Do you like paying taxes? Do you like kids getting bullied at school? Do you like all that? No, you don't like any of it. But because it's forced on you, you're going to tolerate it. Let me tell you, this is one thing you should be forcing on yourself if you have a problem with it, because you're going to pay dearly later, dearly, in expense of trying to manage a disease process that might have been prevented by all these elements that are inside an apple and a broccoli and other types of things. So there's my diatribe. However, important for you to realize, you might not like it. It doesn't matter. It matters that you do what's right and good for you and your children and your spouse, and take care of yourself and help each other, encourage each other, find ways to fix it so that they will eat it. Work hard on it, okay? The conditions that specifically manganese seems to help: osteoporosis, the growth of bones themselves, development of tendons and ligaments, the repair of them. It's a really big issue there, and we'll talk about that later. Nervous system, your immune system, glucose tolerance with chromium is another big issue, as well as with magnesium too. And metabolism of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Manganese plays a big role. Food sources: nuts and seeds, avocados, seaweed, whole grains, and some other fruits and vegetables include some manganese, not as much, but whole grains, nuts and seeds, avocados do a really good job. Here's the risk group: those that eat a highly refined diet with little fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. You're the risk group now. And those with osteoporosis are considered a risk group. Toxicity, almost impossible unless you're working in the mine with the mineral and inhaling it, okay? Just really hard to overdose on manganese, okay? Absorption is blocked by other minerals and medications that might interfere with normal digestion, such as antacids, okay? When we get into the medication interactions, the ones that usually do it: antacids, calcium carbonate, Tums, alkamints, those type things might interfere with manganese. So if you are on any supplementation, not supplementation, but those things to reduce your acid levels, you might want to take this at a different time if you're supplementing with manganese, okay? Recommended RDAs. Recommended RDAs come from keeping you alive. Remember, if you've not looked at our Secrets of Vital Health, make sure you get that little seminar in and pull that up and watch it, because once you get that information in, it gets really clear that the recommended daily allowance might not be appropriate for you. However, to at least know what it is, men and women should be taking in 2 milligrams per day of manganese. Dr. Benzinger's advanced information first starts off with osteoporosis. Some research suggests that manganese with boron, silicon, and strontium show promise for helping this disease, osteoporosis, which is really severe. Muscle, tendon, ligament. Every athlete should be listening to this. Everyone that has fibromyalgia or myofascial pain or muscle tenderness problems. Dr. George Goodhart conducted multiple research projects, but one demonstrated spectacular benefits for strains and sprains and tender spots in the body, speeding recovery like nothing he had ever seen before, manganese specifically. Okay? The immune system. Several research projects have demonstrated the positive effects of manganese had on granulocytes, macrophages, and phagocytes. Bottom line is your immune system. It helps it. It makes it stronger. And if you've got problems with sinuses and chronic infections, get recurrently sick on a consistent basis, manganese might be one thing you want to include in your diet plan. Manganese is an important part of producing something called superoxide dismutase. Okay? It's a powerful free radical scavenger that helps prevent aging, asthma, and cancer. Diabetes, sugar handling in general. Studies have demonstrated that elevated insulin output and decreased blood sugar levels in those patients with adequate manganese comparison to those with low levels of manganese. In other words, higher levels of manganese, magnesium, and a few other things, we do better with diabetes. Specifically, chromium is another help. Okay? So you see how all these start, if you watch more and more of these kind of coalesce. And there's just certain ones that need to be taken together, and they do a wonderful job of hopefully treating, encouraging, and helping prevent many of these diseases. So the possible beneficial effects of manganese: osteoporosis, muscle, tendon, ligaments, athletic people, nervous systems, immune systems, glucose tolerance, and metabolism of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Manganese, important? Very important, an absolute must to have in your dietary plan, hopefully by what you eat. If not, supplementation. If not, both. Do what's right and best, encourage each other, and help each other do something special. Prevent the disease. Let's not have to treat it. Let's just not have it, okay? This is Dr. Benzinger on Health with secondopinion.org. We'll look for you next time. May God bless you.